Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Sky Sports' Johnny Nelson here in here in Barnsley. Sorry, not too far from home. How are you doing, Johnny?
I'm all right, thank you. It's like the Bahamas up here, isn't it? It's hot, man. But yeah, I'm all right, thank you. I'm looking forward to Saturday night. It should be a good one. So you know, Barnsley, it's a sellout. This is a sellout. It's going to be absolutely banging.
I was going to say 7,000 plus tickets gone in 48 hours. Callum Simpson's come from someone who you look like who can produce on the big stage, and look, he's now a real bona fide star.
It just shows that parts like Barnsley, they need a star. And if they get a star, they'll follow him, support him massively, and it shows ticket sales in a heartbeat. Callum Simpson is a down-to-earth kind of kid. Saturday night he's going to show up or throw up. It's not a walk in the park for him. It's going to be a tough night for him. And so we've got to see if this is a clever, calculated gamble, or you know what, someone's going to get thrown to the wolves. If it's too hard for you, then we'll see Saturday night. And the fans get that, you know, and so nobody knows it's a done deal. I think Zach Chelly is a good fighter, a good champion. And Zach Chelly, I think he's reached his ceiling. But this ceiling, as in, I don't think Zach will be any more successful than what he is. But that ceiling, that gate, is very tough to get through, and it's very hard to get past him.
You could have probably forgiven Callum Simpson for taking a slightly easier fight on his homecoming. It's his big moment here back in Barnsley, but he's took a real 50-50, and the rewards are there if he wins it, but if he loses, he's sort of got to drop down and start again a little.
No, not at all. I think whatever happens, as long as he shows a good account of himself, and he's a good fighter, as long as he shows a good account for himself, I think he's boxed for title, and so it's how he performs. Is he championship material? You know, is it through lack of experience that why he's not being successful? So the experience is the only thing you can't buy, borrow, pretend to have. So if it's an impossible task, then we'll see it Saturday night. If it's a task that's possible, but just through lack of experience, then I think a loss to him, you know, he's just having to learn the hard way.
Caroline Dubois on the undercard, going for that WBC interim title. We know the Katie Taylor sort of carrot is dangling there. She's got a huge amount of options, really, whether it be obviously.
I wouldn't choose Caroline Dubois as an option. I just wouldn't. So I think Caroline Dubois is, you know, she's in a position where people think I'll fight if I have to, and I think Katie Taylor is in that position thinking I don't have to fight this young girl. I don't have to fight this young lioness. So I can just develop amnesia and think I ain't seen you. That's how he's got to drop it.
If Caroline does win on Saturday night, as she's expected to, what are the other options sort of away from Katie Taylor, do you feel, for her?
I think what Caroline will do, she will look on getting unifications. And if it's in that division, if you look on getting unifications, then people can't avoid you. People have to respect you. People have to give you the credit you deserve. And so I think, and showing that kind of hunger as a champion, to me, I think it's everything. You know, I'm talking as the next champion. Put yourself in a position where people have to look up to you. People are driven by you, inspired by you. I think that's what Caroline will do.
Just turning it back to last Saturday night, Chisora and Joyce in a real war. Lots of people would say entertaining, but you have to look at the futures of those two men years down the line and the damage they've taken over their careers, not just on Saturday night. Is it sensible that they continue their careers?
Well, boxing, I've always said, is the only sport you can legally get killed. And fighters are the last people to say, you know, I've got to hang their gloves up. And many people can say it. And this is coming from a place of love with Derek, and I thought he should have retired probably a year, maybe 2 years ago. But Derek still has enough to, as far as he's concerned, to put on amazing shows like he did on Saturday night. Fill out arenas like he did on Saturday night. So then he's not making money as God, but he's making sure he makes the most of what he's got left in his career. Joyce, when it's gone, it's gone. Joyce is not the fighter he was. Derek is not the fighter he was. These two guys suited each other. Didn't have to go looking for each other. Of course, you know, fighting like that on a regular, it's going to affect you down the line, and you'll get vilified for saying it now. But in 5-10 years' time, you say, "Oh yeah," but it's the that's our sport. That's why our sport's so intriguing, so dangerous.
So you would say that your advice to those fighters would be to call it a day and hang up the gloves? Is that
my advice hasn't changed at all. I think they should, but it won't. Why would they? You know, I think Derek's in a position where I'm quite sure he could capitalise and get a fight with, I don't know, Wardley or Clark. You know, even at that level, it's a Derek Chisora show now. So at the back end of the twilight of his career, he's in a great position because the young guns are looking, thinking, I want that scalp. And for him, he's thinking, right, I've got to make the most of this.
It's a real busy time in the heavyweight division. We're a couple of months away now from Anthony Joshua back in the ring against Daniel Dubois. Now, a lot of people I've spoken to say that mentality is going to play a big part for both Joshua and Dubois. How much of a role do you think it plays?
Experience, skill, and the best man will win. That's how much it plays. I think Dubois is in the same position Anthony Joshua was through the dips in his career and the troughs in his career. So Dubois is only having to go through what Anthony Joshua went through. So therefore, it's how he deals with it. Anthony Joshua is the established one. Anthony Joshua is the one that's got experience. Anthony Joshua is the one you'd expect to do it because he's been there, done that. So this is for Anthony Joshua to lose. You know, this is his call. He has the ability, and you'd expect him to win.
Who do you feel has the stronger mentality going into that fight?
Mentality and experience, and Anthony Joshua has both of them, and that's why I think, if anything works in his favour, it'll be that.
We also saw Tyson Fury come out and say that he will be sticking with his corner for the Usyk rematch. What are your thoughts on that decision?
If that's his call, then nothing will change. It's really, really simple. Now, I can't say one thing yesterday and say another thing today. If he doesn't change that, nothing changes. In the result might even be worse than what it was. If he doesn't think he did anything wrong in preparation, or maybe mindset going in there, then why would you expect anything to change?
Over the pond, over in LA this weekend, we've got Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov. A huge test for Crawford, it has to be said, but a lot of talk about the Crawford-Canelo fight down the line. Do you see that as a viable option for both fighters?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think it's a great fight. I think it's a good fight. I think Crawford will show his skill repertoire, and it won't be an easy ride for him. And this fight, I think, will make people sit up and listen and really pay attention and say, this guy's probably the best fighter in the world, pound for pound.
A lot will be made of the weight if that fight is to be made. How do you see it playing out, and can he sort of go through the weights and sort of find the form that he's found in the lower weight?
I know when he's talking about fighting Canelo, I think that's too much. And even when that's being mentioned down the line, I thought, nah, don't do that. You're biting off. Canelo, he's not the fighter he was. The fighter he is still deals with 98% of the fighters in the world. And it'd be great to put bums on seats, but I wouldn't do it. So those kind of leaps, we've seen fighters do it in the past, but I wouldn't. If I was Crawford, I wouldn't do it. It's a risk, but it's a risk he's willing to take.
Of course, the show on Saturday night is part of Riyadh season, put on by Turki Al-Sheikh, of course. We're seeing a lot more movement, even now, the likes of Golden Boy, the likes of Top Rank coming in and joining forces. Look, is it a matter of time before 90% of the promoters are part of that force?
Yeah, and that's what Turki wants to do. And if realistically, as a sports fan, a boxing fan, and I want to see that. I want to see the fights. I don't want to see everybody. I'm not fighting you because I'm the champion. No, I'm the champion. In our sport, it's going to affect our sport down the line. What Turki's doing is he's putting things in order, and he's got enough money to make everybody to pay attention, sit up, and do the right thing for our sport. So I love that. I love what is actually happening here, and so there's no. I love our sport, and so what Turki's doing, I just think it's brilliant. Regardless of what you think on a political level behind the scenes, what he's doing for our sport is brilliant. And he's probably the only person that's probably capable of doing it because of the finances he has available. Who else would invest so much into a sport like boxing, where it's skullduggery going on? You've got every promoter that thinks they're the trickiest, smartest one in the books. You've got temperamental fighters. Turki's managed to be a circus master with all of these, let's say, behave yourself. And I mean with promotional companies, TV companies, everybody's stepping into line.
Boxer and Ben Shalom seem to be playing more and more of a part in that. Obviously this week they've got Martin Bakole out there in the US, Tyler Denny, Joshua Buatsi will be on the card in London on the 21st of September. Is it positive from your point of view to see Sky and see Boxer more heavily involved?
I think it's just a matter of time before everybody's involved. It's a matter of time. So I'm a surprise no. Is it expected? Yes. You know, Boxer's just one of many that I'll have to, you know, I'll be dragged in, regardless of who's there already. Of course, the other promoters there don't want anybody else coming in to share the pie, but this is going to happen. So these boys have got to fix up and just play ball.
Final question: Queensberry and Frank Warren. A lot of links and a lot of rumours out there talking and linking them to a DAZN deal when the TNT Sports deal ends. Would that be a positive, do you feel, joining DAZN, or do you feel like, obviously, Sky and Boxer, and it's good to have boxing on terrestrial TV, how do you sort of weigh that up?
The devil's in the details, so if Queensberry joined DAZN, yeah, DAZN has a more of a platform for fighters to show their boxing, yeah, but at the end of the day, DAZN need the eyes on the prize, they need people to watch them, they need people to tune in, so they get them in their homes. It's going to take years and years and years, like it did for Sky, to be so established and so powerful as a broadcaster. And so no matter who they get on board, it's going to take years and years for them to be indoctrinated into people's homes or into the pub going down the road. It will happen, but it's a case of how long it's going to be before it does happen.
Johnny, pleasure as always. I'll see you soon. Thank you very much, mate.